What's going on, everybody? My name is Brandon Taylor. If you're here, welcome to Extraordinary Critic. And today we're going to be talking about the 6888, directed by Tyler Perry. So if you're watching this right now, grab a snack, tune in, relax, and I hope you enjoy this video. Let go. So the 6888 is directed by Tyler Perry, and it's about the Women Army Corps, the Black Women Army Corps, and they have this 3-year male backlog. And despite all the racism and the immigration and all that stuff, they have a mission to get the mail out as soon as possible, so families and people that the soldiers' loved ones could write each other back and forth and just know that they're still here and they're still alive. Stuff like, it's very important. So it started Kerry Washington and other people that I don't know, never seen before, except for Oprah Winfrey, of course, and the guy who plays Hank from Breaking Bad. He's also in this movie as well. So yeah, so what I think about this movie: is it good? Is it bad? Is it decent? What do I think about this? Now, if Tyler Perry as a filmmaker overall, I admire Tyler Perry, and as a filmmaker, I do want to be in his position as what he's doing as an independent filmmaker, and he put people in position and stuff. But I don't hate his movies like everybody else does. I do think that Tyler Perry has done some good work. I feel like his earlier work in the 2000s are way better than the movies he makes now. The movie that he makes now, I don't understand what he's doing with them. I don't know. Mia Coppola and Divorce in the Black, yeah, those movies was kind of bad. Yeah, they were really bad. But this movie right here is really a decent movie, honestly. And it's not surprising at all, because he did a movie years ago called The Jasmine Club, which I liked. I liked The Jasmine Club, honestly. It was a good story. But when he does like erotic thrillers and dramas like, Mia Coppola and Divorce in the Black. Those movies are so bad that you can't do nothing but laugh at them. But when it comes to a movie like this, the 6888, I feel like he did a good job with this movie. This movie was really decent, and it's not perfect, it's not good, but it's not terrible. I do have a lot of I won't say complaints, but I do have some issues with this movie, and one of the issues that I do have with this movie is that the characters. One thing you could say about war movies and movies like this is that you gotta have memorable characters that you could follow. And I feel like they didn't have any memorable characters in this that are supposed to be main characters. We got this girl who's in love with a Jewish boy, and spoilers, but the Jewish boy dies. He dies in the beginning of the movie, and that's what motivates her to get into. That what makes her join the army. But besides that, her character doesn't really have nothing going for herself, except for the fact that she lost a loved one. Now, someone like Kerry Washington is the MVP of this movie. She's the reason why this movie actually really works, because Kerry Washington's character, she has a responsibility to lead these women into this mission, and she felt like her and these women are not being respected because they're women. And yes, you could say racism is a part of it, but also it's because they are women. Because at that time, men were men. It was the men does it all. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And it's in the 40s, so yeah, of course they're gonna think stuff like that. So Kerry Washington has a lot of pressure on her as a commander officer or general, whatever she is. She has a lot of pressure because she feel like that she has to prove to the military that these women are capable of doing more than just staying there looking pretty. You know what I'm saying? So Kerry Washington really nailed this because her character had a lot going on. She has a lot of pressure going on, and she feels all black women, and she feels like she has no choice but to be hard on them and to make sure they get this right. But yeah, the other characters are so forgettable. I don't even remember their names watching the movie. There are two women, soldier women in their army corps that died from a bombing, but I didn't feel anything because I didn't know who they were. I was like, who are these women again? Okay, all right. It's supposed to be emotional. I'm sad. It is dark, but when they died, I was like, oh dang, they got blown up. But who were they? That was one of the issues. These women characters that we supposed to follow, they have really nothing going for themselves to a point where I can't even follow them. Like I said, the main character, the girl, the only thing that has something has going on for herself is that her loved one died. That's pretty much it. Without that loved one being dead, she really has nothing going for herself. Her character's doesn't really have a lot. It's not really a well-rounded character. It's just her loved one died, and she feels like she has to go to the army to like fill in his shoes, I guess. I don't know, but that's pretty much it. And even their relationship's not really fleshed out because he died so early in the movie, in the story. But yeah, another flaw or problem I have with this movie, and I had this problem for a long time. I'm not trying to bash Tyler Perry or his achievements, but I do think that his set designs are not really that good. It still feels like a sitcom or TV movie type of sets. They don't feel lived in or been in, and that goes for the Jasmine Club too. Every time they're in a house, it don't feel like a house that lived in. It feels like a set that they're performing in. It feels like a play. It doesn't feel like something that is like really lived in. Now you go to Tyler Perry old movies and stuff with the Medea in the house, it looks lived in. It looks like Medea lived in that house forever. Why I Get Married, like those houses feel like it looks like a real house, like they lived in those houses. Ever since he got his Tyler Perry studio, the sets in these movies on Netflix and stuff, they look like studio sets. They don't look like real sets that these people actually lived in, feel comfortable in. They kick their feet up and stuff, man. It don't look like they took a dump. They look like nothing. It just looked like a studio set, and it takes me out. Me personally, it takes me out of the characters in the movie because it's basically looking like a play. But overall, I think this movie is really decent. I feel like Tyler Perry can do some good work when he sits down and he takes his time. And like I said, I don't understand other people bashing him a lot, because people does bash Tyler Perry for his movies. Like I said, Mia Coppola and Divorce in the Black, those were bad movies, but they're just bad movies. I think Tyler Perry's best work overall, in my opinion, is The Family That Prays, Daddy's Little Girl, and Why Get Married, the first one. Those three movies are his best movies, in my opinion. But this right here was pretty decent movie. It still felt like a TV movie. It's not the best production, but it's something a good watch. I do think that the story overall by itself is a very powerful story. I do think that the true story is a true story. So if you know about this, then you know that the story is pretty extraordinary. How these women got this mail out, and how important it was that these loved ones and the soldiers get their mail. Because it's like they ain't got no phones or nothing, so they gotta find a way to communicate with their family and their loved ones, their wives, their children, and all that stuff. So it was a very important story, and the fact that black women did this and had a huge impact in the army and stuff like that was really, really inspiring. One scene that I really did like in the movie is where it's at the end and these women are walking in a building, the army building. I forgot what they were doing. They were walking in it though, and the men called them. They stopped and they salute them, and they honored them because what they've done. They did a very important work. It's not like, and they made this movie what the mission they had is just as important as shooting the enemy or fighting a battlefield. It's just as important as that, and that's one thing I did like about this movie as well. But yeah, the two main flaws is the set design and the women characters that we were supposed to be following. Yeah, the characters in the women characters in this movie are pretty boring, and they really don't bring anything to the table that maybe like, oh, I like them. When you look at Red Tails, you have memorable characters. You have memorable characters. Like, you rooted for them to survive. You rooted for them to be okay. I didn't feel that way with this movie. You have certain characters here that I kind of recognize. You got the big girl, the chubby girl. She's sassy and she likes men a lot. That's it. Like, she's like, I'm here for the men. And then you have this other girl who's like, language. You have that girl. And then you got the light-skinned one who is very nice. And then you got the main character who just cries every time something reminds her of her loved ones. That's it. Then that's boring. There's no other character aspects to them. Like, when you watch Glory, the old movie Glory, the reason why it worked so well was because you had Morgan Freeman who's like kind of like the leader, if I'm not mistaken. You had Denzel who's like the mean spirit, but like hot-headed, but you understand where he comes from because he used to be a slave. And you got other, like, you have great characters in Glory. Like, these characters, they're fighting for something, and you recognize them, and you see them. I didn't feel the same way with this. And I can say this out, and just like Glory, I can say the same thing about Red Tails. I can say the same thing about that movie, because I remember those characters in Red Tails that made me go like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel for them. I didn't feel like that. I don't remember these characters' name. The only person that's really memorable is Kerry Washington and her second in command, because me personally, in my opinion, the story should have been about her and her second in command, how they have a whole lot of pressure of them leading these women into this at the time seemed impossible situation or mission that they have to get done. And if they fail, then they're gonna be in really big trouble. And that's the meat and potatoes, you ask me, compared to this main character girl who's really not really interesting, and all she got is her love interest dying. Like, that's pretty much it. And it's like, that doesn't do it for me. So I'm gonna give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. It's a decent movie. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It's far from Mia Coppola and Divorce in the Black. It's a good watch, but those flaws I do have in this movie are the set design, and Tyler Perry should have wrote like more interesting characters in this story and stuff like that. He should have gave them more depth into their characters. Like I said, like, you should have gave them more stuff to do, and then just having one or two dimensional. So I feel like the big girl, that's the only thing she has is like, she's sassy and she loves men. And you got the main character girl who just, all she does is cry because she thinks about her love interest, which is fine. But it's not like she's like have determination or she has ambition or she has any goals. She's basically doing this because of her love interest, which is fine, but it's nothing else to it. You know, it's nothing else to make her want, there's nothing else for me to root for her. So that's pretty much it. But anyway, guys, if you are tuned in still, please like and subscribe. Please share this with everybody. Support this channel as much as possible. I'm trying to get this started. I'm gonna hit you guys with more videos. Please be safe out there, guys. This world is getting crazy and crazier by the day, so please be safe, be on the lookout. I'll see you guys later, and goodbye.